We have a guy in the back. Why do I always feel like I'm reprimanding Daniel Goff? Like my son or something. What I'm going to do is go over a little bit about belief and attitude, and I want to start off with showing you what I saw from Pat Hens 4 years ago, and I think it's really the best description of belief and enthusiasm and everything that you could understand in a business, because enthusiasm is like a warm bath that gets cold in 10 minutes, and it really is. In other words, today you will be excited. How many of you are excited? Like more excited than you've been for a while, right?
Yeah.
Because you're around excitement. Mark my words, guaranteed. When you leave here all by yourself, take everyone out of the equation, and you're all by yourself, and you get a few no's, and some people trying to use a scam, it's a pyramid, it's illegal, you're going to jail, federal penitentiary, 6 years minimum. I can't believe you're not in jail yet. I'm calling RCMP, they're after you. You know what? It doesn't take very much of that until 2 days from now, we call you and you go, I'm not doing too good, man. I was like, you were just stoked 2 days ago. What in the world happened? Do you guys understand what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's something I learned 4 years ago, and there's a big difference between belief and excitement. Big difference. Excitement is important. People will get in your business because you're excitement. But trust me, you won't get excitement without conviction and knowledge. Knowledge builds belief. The more you understand something, the more you build your belief, and belief builds conviction. If you want to write down some notes, that's what you should write down. If you take away one thing from training today, understand that. Knowledge builds belief. Belief builds conviction. The person with the most conviction wins. Period. How many people have seen Braveheart? Did he have a little bit of conviction? Kind of goofy, isn't it? Gave up everything. I mean, what was it for? Was it tangible? Freedom. What was freedom? Was it tangible? Could he touch it? No. In fact, he didn't even get to taste it. He didn't even get freedom in his life. Freedom came later from what he started. Guys, Braveheart is a perfect example of knowledge builds belief, which builds conviction. I don't know how many of you, how familiar you are. I've watched that movie like 100 times. I watch it all the time. And I'll tell you, it's amazing. He goes to the top of the mountains in that one scene when they're in the background, they're talking about how he's like 70 foot tall and he slayed people with a bone of something and a fire from his butt and everything like that. And, see, I know people have watched that over time. Guys, that was a scene where he was identifying his why. He was looking out over the scenery and going, this is why I'm doing this, Another movie, Gladiator. Another movie, Armageddon. All of these movies are usually movies that the same people like. And what they show is belief and conviction. People that are convicted about something, whatever it is, whether it's, it was freedom for Scotland from tyranny, or we're in Excel, it's financial freedom, or maybe it's this, or maybe it's that, whatever. But my point is, the person with the most conviction does win, and it comes from belief. And excitement is part of that. People will get in your business because of excitement. You could do everything wrong. I could sit up here and do all the wrong numbers, or just basically give you a whole bunch of stuff that's just not really good as far as numbers and credibility and everything. But if I was excited, a lot of people would sign up. If I sat up here and I was dry and just rattled through a few things here and there, and all the stuff was perfect and detailed and exact, and I told you how deep the lines are buried and how we got started and how it was founded, how the industry works and everything, but there was no excitement, mark my words, a lot of people would walk right away. But excitement comes from belief. And here's what I saw from Pat. And I mean, this, in my opinion, is the best thing I saw 4 years ago. And I used to watch his training video over and over and over again. It was just so great. This is time down here. And this is excitement. We'll just go excitement. Okay? Everyone starts off. We'll say that's 10. This is 1, okay? 1 to 10, excitement level. Everyone starts off pretty much on day 1 as a 10. I mean, or 8, 9, 10 for excitement. Not belief. We're talking about excitement right now, okay? And people are stoked. And this is what happens. And this is the real truth. So some of you are going to laugh, and some of you are going to laugh because it happened already to you. And if you're a guest or you're brand new in the business, I know some reps signed up today, and you're brand new, this will happen to you. So get ready. Get ready, because this will happen for sure. Your excitement's at 10. You are stoked. You are fired up. This is incredible. You waited your whole life for this opportunity in this business and everything. And you're going to go out and you're going to talk to some people. You're going to try to get a few customers, and if you represent those, you're right there. You're untouchable. You're just, everything you touch turns to gold. You are fired up. And you go and you say, man, you've got to look at this business. It's unbelievable. I am so excited. I finally found what's going to set me free and give us some free time and everything like that. And they said, oh man, Trevor, what have you gotten into now? You know, you've already sold me enough soap to last 10 lifetimes. You know, I'm sick of the vitamins, I'm sick of the magnets. Everything you touch is either illegal or some kind of scam. You've got a garage full of crud that could last 10 people 10 lifetimes. What have you gotten into? That's probably illegal. I heard that was illegal. I just watched a TV show that down in California, that's illegal what you're doing. You're going to go to jail. You ready to go to jail? What do you think about maximum security? It ain't going to be fun. You've seen the guys that are in jail? You know, that is illegal. It's a scam. It's a pyramid. The guy at the top makes all the money. You are a loser. Everything you've ever done ain't going to work. Why are you thinking you can do this? And you say, but mom. but mom, I mean, come on, give me a little bit of leeway. Guys, how many people are reps, have been reps for a while? Does that happen? You're fooling yourself if you think it won't happen. We are dealing with the real world. Pat Hance always says this. You know, people ask him, why can't we have, you know, more people become successful in Excel, more than 10, 20%? You know what? He always says, he explains it the best. He says, if we could pull from a better gene pool, we would. But as long as we're humans and we're on Earth, that's about as good as it gets. How many people know the Chicago Bulls? Basketball team. Greatest basketball team in the history of the world, if you're into basketball. I'm really not, but I know enough just to be dangerous to talk about. Okay? Of the people on the Chicago Bulls, you know how many people can identify the players on that team that were incredible? Usually 3 names come up. Michael Jordan, best basketball player, possibly the best athlete that ever walked the earth, next to Tiger Woods. I mean, everybody knows him. Everybody. For those guys, everybody. You can go to, like, you know, Ethiopia and walk into a tribe and they know who Tiger Woods is and Michael Jordan. You know? And then they might know Scottie Pippen and they might know Rodman. And that's it. Anyone else? People don't remember anyone else on the team. Guys, there were other people on the team. Lots of other people that got paid lots of money. Why don't you remember them? Because they weren't the 5-10%. They were just, yeah, they were doing good. They were, you know, NBA and everything. But my point is that we're humans, and 5 to 10% of people will do 90% of the work and make 90% of the money. You just got to get used to that. So when your mom says, you know, it's this, it's that, it's all this kind of stuff, your excitement level is going to go like this. It's going to go down to like a 3. You don't have to write nice to be able to do this business. You really don't. I can barely write. That's why I type. It's not a lot nicer. Your excitement level is going to go to like a 3. You're going to be like, oh man. And, you know, let's say Dan sponsored me, and he did. I called Dan back. I said, man, I don't know about this, man. I talked to everybody I know. This thing just ain't going to work. This is horrible. I got beat up. I'm going to go to jail. Are you sure I'm not going to jail? Dan's like, dude, you aren't going to jail. You know, this is a $1 billion company and everything. It's a major company. It's all over the world, you know. They got switches. Do you think Joe Mitchell's going to jail? I mean, oh, yeah, I guess you're kind of right. And then Dan will maybe ask me, well, who all did you talk to? You talked to everybody you know? I said, yeah, all 2 of them. I talked to all two people I know. You know, my mom and my sister. And they both shot me down, and I'm done. You know, I don't know anyone else, you know. Dan says, dude, come on. I went through this too. You're going to go through this, you know. There's lots of other people out there. There's 310 million people in North America, 500 million in Europe. Don't you think there might be someone else that wants some kind of opportunity better than working for their whole life? Don't you think there's someone out there? I don't care if you don't know anyone, which is not really true. There's no such thing as not knowing anyone. If you have an organization you belong to or anything, you know people. If you go out of your house and ever leave and go into public, you know people. Do you get your hair cut? You know people. Do you get dry cleaning? You know people. All of those people are people. I was a guy that worked at Safeway, and somebody talked to me, Dan. You know, my point is, if you leave your house and you're out in public, you know people. You may think you don't until you start writing your contact list. So anyways, Dan gets me a little bit more, you know, excited again. Like I said, enthusiasm's like a warm bath, and I talk to him for 10, 15 minutes. He tells me all this good stuff, makes me feel warm and fuzzy. And let's say I back up to like a 9. Now I'm a 9. I'm kind of excited again. Then I go to try to get a customer, and they say, what are your rates? You know, I'm so comfortable with TELUS. I love TELUS. They're my friend. I've been with them a million years. I'm not going to change. You know, my excitement goes down to like a 3 again. now I'm burned out, I'm bummed out and everything. But then I talked to a friend of mine, and he says, dude, I'm on board. And I'm not just on board as MR, I'm coming in as a T. I'm going to take this thing up. Watch out. Call Joe Mitchell, I'm on board. I mean, this is it. Man, you're like, holy mackerel. You're like a 10 plus. You're like extra credit is going on. You're like, you are stoked off the chart. I call Dan, I'm like, Dan, I'm fired up, man. You call it quits, buddy. Call it quits. Tell Susan, just relax, we're done. I brought in, I called Joe Mitchell already, put in a call to him. I brought in the guy. He told me he was the guy. He must be the guy. He told me he was. So he's going to have a couple thousand customer points in his first day, a couple million reps. He's it, I am fired up. Dan's like, woohoo, yes. Dan's fired up too, we're all fired up. And then I start trying to train the guy. It's obvious. He doesn't answer his phone. I go to his house. He's moved. He doesn't even live there anymore. Unlisted number. He's left the province. Totally gone. You can't find him. He didn't even sign himself up as a customer. How hard is that? Let me see. Trevor, please be your own customer. Yeah, that was hard. I look at it as pretty easy, but no, he didn't even sign himself up. I mean, he's left the country. You can't get a hold of him. Now you are like a one. That's the devastating one. When someone brings in a new rep that promises the world and then delivers nothing, that is when people hit like a one for excitement. Call Dan back, man. Dan, I don't know about this. Remember that guy that said he was going to, I don't know how I'm going to explain this to Joe Mitchell. I got to call into a secretary. The guy's going to call me. I'm going to have to explain to Joe Mitchell that, this guy is really not going to do all that. And Dan's like, Joe probably knows that. I'm sure building a $2 billion business, Joe might have met a couple of people like that along the way. He just kept on going. So I'm like, I guess so, this and that. My point is that I could go on and on and on. You guys get my point, don't you? Yeah. That's real. If you're new in this business, and you don't expect this, if you think you're going to go out of here and talk to everybody and they're going to see the same thing you see, why in the world? Just use common sense. I mean, common sense, look at the world. 97% of people are just getting by paycheck to paycheck. They will their whole life. 3 to 5% are doing something different. Entrepreneurs, business owners, building a business. 1 to 2% are financially free. Guys, it's just that way. If everyone saw it, everyone would be in Excel. Everyone would be rich. If it was easy, everyone would do it. Do you guys understand that? This excitement will go up and down. It still does today. I've been in this years a couple months. Do you think my excitement doesn't go up and down? You see me today excited in front of a room. You don't see me on a bad day. Trust me, Dan can attest. I've had days that would make anyone in this room quit. For sure. I've been through stuff that would scare you in the last 4.5 years because I put everything on the line. Everything. You know what though? That's excitement. But my belief, here's the difference. My belief was a 10. When I came in, most people's belief is like a 2. Belief is what it's all about. Everything. Knowledge builds belief, which builds conviction. Most people start with like a belief of a 2. I think this might work. People use the phone. I can get paid. This company's kind of been around. What happens when a new rep reads a couple books, like your first year in network marketing, the New Professionals by James Robinson? They find out that a Harvard professor, the number one business school in the world, Harvard Business Law, a business school, one of their professors with a doctorate teaches our industry at the University of Chicago. Then they go, that's kind of powerful. Kind of raises the belief up a little bit. They read a couple more books, then they see maybe an article. They start to find out, hey, they meet some guys that are making maybe some decent money, 10, 20 grand a month. They're living on residual income. They meet real people that are on earth that are doing it, and their belief starts to build. Knowledge builds belief. Then they meet Joe Mitchell. They go to an event, and they shake the hand of a guy that's worth almost $3 billion. And he looks him in the eye and says, quitting? I don't know quitting. I don't know what quitting means. Never quit anything. Been married for 38 years, never quit. Built this business to $2 billion, never quit. I'm taking it to $10 billion. Whether you're with me or not, doesn't matter. I'm not quitting. And you go, I might have had a hold of something here. What do you think your belief level does at that point? Your belief level goes from a 2 up to a 10. Guys, I started this business with a belief level of a 10. My belief never changed. I had days that were ridiculous. I had bad days, not just because of Excel. Everything, I put everything on the line. unbelievable sacrifice to develop what I thought was going to be an amazing thing, and it did pan out to be that, because I went to Europe and this and that. But my point is that my belief never changed. If your belief is a 10, man, there's nothing that can take you out of this business. Nothing. How do you get your belief to a 10? And by the way, belief isn't like a warm bath. It doesn't go up and down. Once your belief level is really there, how many people believe in gravity? Do you get my point? You imagine bumping into someone that doesn't believe in gravity? Throw him off a building. When he hits the ground, he's going to be a believer. I always say opinions are like buttholes. Everyone's got them and they all stink. You know? People, there are two societies I've seen. That's kind of, my pastor heard that and he's like, Trevor, that's the best thing I've ever heard. And if I could somehow change that into some kind of presentable saying at church, I would say it, but I can't, so I won't. You know? He rolled out of his chair and just loved it. But my point is that it's true. You know, there are people that believe the earth is made out of green cheese, and there is a society that is a real society, and you can find them on the internet, of people that believe the world is flat. Is the world flat?
No.
No. We have pretty good documents and factual information and everything that it's not flat. People think it's flat. There's people out there that think it's flat. You know, it's belief. You know, I believe it's round, and I have a whole bunch of information to back it. I don't care how often you tell me the world is flat. I don't care if you tell me the moon's made out of green cheese. I don't care if you tell me Excel's a scam, a pyramid, it's illegal, Joe Mitchell is going to jail with me. It doesn't matter. You know, I've read the books. I've done the research. In fact, the more books and more research you do and the more people you meet, your belief goes higher to a point that it just doesn't matter what comes along. And then rejection and everything like that, the ups and downs, they just don't matter. Will you have good days and bad days? Yep, but it won't matter. It will not matter. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
You need to read the books. Get around people that are successful. Get around people that are doing the same thing day after day, year after year. They say your income will be the average income of your 10 closest friends. Now, does that depress you or excite you?
Excite you.
Yeah, hang around the right people, you know? Some people I told that 2 years ago, they were, oh my goodness, I need new friends. That's okay, man. I did, he said that. I was like, okay, that's my point is that the reason they say that is association is powerful. Who you hang around, I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, mark my words, I will watch who they hang around when they're 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I will watch with an eagle eye, guaranteed. If they come home and some guy has a syringe hanging out of his arm, you know, and he's, you know, talking about making a couple grand on the corner, I'm going to be watching that. Do you guys get my point? Association is everything. You need to be reading the books. I don't care if you're not a good reader. Dad didn't like reading. Now he reads all kinds of things. It's so, you become a perpetual student. You read things. That's how you build your belief. You know, excitement. It will come. It will come. As you get more convicted and more knowledgeable about this industry, tell me, when you guys heard me just say that a Harvard professor teaches our industry, some of you didn't know that. Did that get you a little bit higher belief level? Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Because you go, oh, when someone tells me that thing doesn't work or something, I can say, well, have you heard of Harvard Business School? Yeah, it's the number one business school in the world. Well, we're taught there. Well, we're taught by a professor that has a doctorate from there. Oh, maybe I should look at this. Maybe I'm wrong by saying it doesn't work. You know, did you know we're the largest private telecom in the world? Oh, this isn't a nickel. I thought it just started in Grand Prairie and that you were just you and a couple of dudes. You know, that's what I thought it was. I thought Bernice started it. You know, I thought Daniel Goff started it. You know, look at his hair. I mean, you know, how can Daniel Goff be a billionaire? I mean, this kind of thing can't be real. I mean, do you guys get my point? People say those kind of things because they don't understand everything, but your belief, everything is your belief. It will come from your understanding. Reading the books, getting around people that are doing the same thing and everything like that. Now, I want to talk about the history of Excel, where it was, and a little bit of history about telecom and where we are today, because I think it helps with belief. In 1984, Ma Bell got broken up. Ma Bell was the monopoly in the United States, and I don't know what it was in Canada, but it was similar there. There were monopolies, and you didn't have a choice. This was back when you paid a couple bucks for a minute for usage. How many people remember those times? I mean, you had no choice, yeah. I kind of remember them. I do remember Ma Bell in the United States. I remember that was it. There was nothing else. I remember rotary dial phones and everything. I do. I mean, I grew up
Party lines.
I'm dating myself.
Party lines,
Yeah, party lines.
Oh.
Yeah, like, who is this? How do you get on my phone? There were like 20 people.
next door.
Yeah, it's like there's 20 people on my phone. I mean, it was weird, but, you know, Daniel Goff will not remember this. He's like barely through puberty, but, you know. The point is that, guys, I remember those things. Ma Bell was one company, all of the United, for like 100 years. Everyone in the United States, every single person was their customer, period. There was no competition. 1984, it all changed. Equal access is what it's called. The judge went, wham, equal access. That means that those lines out there are no longer yours. Ma Bell, they're everybody's. If Joe Blow, Trevor Walsh wants to go invest some money and become a telecom expert and use those lines too, he can. Equal access. That changed the world. That was like the biggest change in like the last 30, 40 years of any type in any industry. It went berserk. Excel was born. 1988 and MCI was born. Sprint was born. I mean, all those companies were born because of that change. It wasn't just Excel. What happened is, years and years and years of building a business, Excel, MCI, Sprint, lots of people started leaving those companies. You know, started leaving Ma Bell, basically. And they started realizing that, you know what, I really can leave, and my phone still works, and it's all okay. So they started leaving, and they were leery at first, because they never had anyone else. And by about 1993, the real stuff happened. I mean, this is really the history. 1993 is when they said it matured. The prison doors opened wide open. The prison, this is how Pat Hintz explains it, and he's the best at explaining it because he was there. He was there. He said, the only reason I'm worth tens of millions of dollars is I was just standing there when it happened. It was going to happen no matter what. I was just there. People dawned. People were enlightened, and they thought, you know what? We really can leave them. Not only can we leave them, but we will get way better rates with another company. Some went to MCI. Some went to Sprint. Some went to 400 and some companies. And some went to Excel. And the people that were in Excel between 93 and 96 became there were people making $1 million their first year. In their first year. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Just because they were there. They weren't even, man, the guy that made $1.2 million a month did it in that time. This is going to blow your mind. He did it in 1993 to 96 when we went from 30.1 million to 1.4 billion in 3 years, 36 months. Only company in the world that's ever done that kind of growth is Compaq Computers. They did it by merging with other companies and acquiring other companies. We did it with regular everyday people in a few states, getting a few customers, long distance only. It was mind-boggling because the floodgates were wide open and people were leaving Ma Bell in big, large numbers. Paul Orbison was making $1.2 million a month after he quit doing Excel. How would you like that for a retirement check? He built it in that 3 years, and when he actually settled down and quit working it, he was an executive director. That was the highest position in Excel at that time, and off of $25 slides. $25 slides, he was making $1.2 million a month for 18 months consecutively. That's approximately 48,500 people a month coming into his business. 50,000 reps coming into his business a month. Do you think Excel was growing?
Oh, yeah.
Kenny Trout's biggest problem at that time, I'm serious, he told me this. I met Kenny Trout in Oregon and he told me, he said they had an issue with the computer writing $1 million check with Paul, and his first check was $120,000 when he broke $1 million because it couldn't add that last zero. So it was $120,000 instead of $1.2 million because I forgot the last zero. You guys follow me?
Let's get 10 of those.
Yeah. So Paul goes back up to Kenny. He's like, what is this, dude? Kenny's like, I don't know how to fix the software. He goes, you made too much money. We don't know how to pay someone $1 million a month. So they had to fix that. That was a hurdle, you know? That was a hurdle they had to overcome. Paul had to be patient for a few days or whatever to get his $1 million check. My point is that this happened because they were in the right place at the right time. $50 billion industry, opening new states, and the deregulation where people were leaving Ma Bell and could see what was going on. Now, that was huge. It was huge for MCI, it was huge for Sprint, it was huge for Excel, it was huge for a lot of companies. Here's where we are today. Local phone service is huge. And that's the United States, and then it's going to come to Canada and all of Europe. And Europe is huge. I'm going to talk about those two things. And really, you know, I always close with these points, but I want you to understand the vision of really where we are. Joe Mitchell's taken us from a $2.6 billion company to a $10 billion company in the next 5 years. When I was at his house a couple weeks ago, someone asked him, Joe, what's this about getting $10 billion? I mean, when are we going to do it, this and that? Guy didn't even finish. Joe didn't even let him finish. I mean, Joe was like, we're there. We're there. We're already done. We will be $10 billion for sure. There's no question in my mind. I built a $2 billion company. I can build a $10 billion company. You know, it's easy now. And I would think, I'm serious, guys. He thinks like that. You know, once you make your first million, everything after that is easy. It really is, because you've already done the hard work. You've already learned what it takes. You've already went through all the recession. It's easy after that. Mark my words. He believes that, and he will do it for sure. No question about it. He wasn't even hesitant. He said, the only thing I don't know, as a BarTech expert, you know, as a telecom expert, as an Excel, you know, expert, and he said, I just don't know the exact time because of the variables I can't control. Like the telecom meltdown. MCI going bankrupt was a big deal. It shocked the world. The government of the United States had to get involved. I mean, it was a big deal. It wasn't like me and Dan opening a hot air balloon business and losing low money. You know, this was a big deal that affected the whole world everywhere. And it sent ripples everywhere. So Joe said, I can't control those things. So I don't know the exact timing, but 10 billion, we're there. He said, you know, and in another instance when Joe was talking, and I've heard him say this kind of thing before, but I can remember an exact instance where he actually said, we'll be the largest company of any type in the world. Period.
Yeah.
How long will it take? I don't know. My point is, do you care? I mean, I don't care if it's 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30. What if I'm doing this for 35 years and in 35 years we surpass Microsoft and we're worth $120 billion and I'm getting paid on something I've built for the last 40 years at that point? Do you think I'll be excited? Mm-hmm. What is a percentage of, you know, 120 billion? I don't know, but a percentage of 2.5 is pretty amazing. It will stop your heart sometimes. Sometimes I have to pinch myself to see if this is real. Is this real? You know? I can't imagine what it will look like in 20, 30, 40 years. I can't imagine. Guys, Joe Mitchell doesn't think he's going to try this. He isn't dabbling his feet. He burned the bridges. He bet his life on that this is going to happen. 10 billion is a done deal. Everything is in place. He is an intelligent man, unbelievably intelligent. He knows the industry as much more than anybody on this globe, and he knows what's in place. It's the right place at the right time. Local phone service is deregulated for the first time in history. Remember 1984, Mobile, what happened? 1993, people matured. They figured out they could leave. What happened, not just to Excel, to MCI and Sprint, everybody that was there. They were just there when it happened. That was a $50 billion industry. Guys, we're in front of a $500 billion industry in the United States alone. I don't know what it's worth in Canada, but it's worth a lot. A lot of money. What's it worth in all of Europe? A lot of money. How about Latin America? A lot of money. I can just talk about the United States because I know those numbers. It's between $400 and $500 billion a year. 400 and 500 billion. Long distance was 50 billion. What's 1% of 500 billion? 50 billion. What if we capture 1% of the market and that's all we do because we're not real good? $50 billion company. What if we capture 2%? Now we're a $100 billion company. Guys, there are people flogging to Excel in droves. I mean, it's unbelievable because they've never had a chance in their life to change their local carrier, and this is their first chance ever. We're the only company coast to coast in all 50 states. There is no one else, no one, that does all 50 states, that also does not only unlimited in the United States, but also to Canada. There's no one else. Will other companies copy us? You betcha they will. If they're smart, they will. Of course they will. Everyone is watching us. But who gets the most land? First person there, first mover advantage. You know, if you wanted to catch a good wave, you better have your surfboard ready and be out there ready for it. You don't stay at home waiting for them to say the wave's about to hit. Okay, time to get in the car. You know, there's the beach, by the way. I don't even know how to get there. I mean, guys, you have to be there. It's going to happen. It's happening right now. Local phone service is huge. It's a $400 to $500 billion industry. The same thing that happened in 1993 as far as maturity, critical mass, timing, everything is right now. People will look back years from now and go, man, you looked at this at 2003, back when local phone service was just deregulated, before it was even in Canada? I can't believe what that must have felt like. You say, yeah, I was excited. I mean, think about that, guys. It's amazing. And then we're opening all of these other countries. In 15 years, Excel opened Canada. That was it, Canada and the United States. Hundreds of millionaires were created. It was always a dream to open up Europe, always a dream, but it had never happened. Then they opened up, about 18 months ago, they opened up the UK. And then you think, that's incredible. Well, we're done. I mean, that in itself is amazing. Some companies never make it to Europe, okay? In their whole life. Joe Mitchell, a little different. He goes, UK, just a stepping stone. Let's go ahead and open 5 more in just a few months. UK, Germany, Austria, Ireland, and Holland, all in the last year and a half. Do you guys see that as kind of a big accomplishment?
Right on.
And do you guys, if you
How
capture,
soon can a global call be local?
don't know, but it's coming. Don't know, and I'll tell you what, you don't want to miss 1 second when it hits. I mean, when someone in Sweden can talk to someone in Canada, who talks to someone in Italy, and it's free, you don't want to miss one piece of that, not one single second of it. And you want to be building now. Local is not in Canada yet, but it's coming. Mark my words, Joe won't ignore Canada. He won't ignore the UK or Ireland. That's his goal. You know, and we're going to open up country after country after country. Paul Robeson made $1.2 million a month on new states opening and long distance alone. What will it look like when new countries are opening and this starts to mature? This is absolutely insane. And how many people does it take to really make this happen? Paul Robeson, 80% of his income, 80% of his income came through one person, one rep. So he made $1.2 million off signing up one rep that he spent 5 minutes talking to. Do you think about that for a second, Jim Boyd. 5 minutes talking to him, signed up Jim Boyd, 80% of his income came through one guy off $25 slides. The compensation plan is like 20 times larger now. Before it was only executive director, the top position. Now it's executive senior director. I mean, do I need to say much more? It is obscene that what's going on today and where Joe Mitchell is taking this company. He's talking about Asia now. He just put it out in the email a couple of days ago about he's got his eye on Asia now. He's wide open to looking at that. He's looking at Latin America, already buying switches and everything down there. We're going to be worth tens of billions of dollars and everything. And the people that get it started now are the people, you know, that are going to be in place as this thing explodes. And you don't need millions of people frontline or anything. You need a few key people that see the same thing, especially in new countries or new places. And it's game over. It is absolutely game over. Last thing I want to talk about, to really show you belief in where this thing's going in distribution, is McDonald's. Ray Kroc was a genius. If you ever get a chance to read his book, it's a must read in my opinion. Anything Ray Kroc does is, anything he said was amazing. He was invited to Harvard Business School, and he was asked by a business class, he asked the class at Harvard, what do I do? And this was Ray Kroc. I'll tell you, if Ray Kroc walked in this room and you're not bowing down, I mean, you missed it. I mean, I'm not saying that. My point is that Ray Kroc is the founder of McDonald's. You know, it doesn't get much more successful in business than that. Harvard, you know, they were like, Ray Kroc, he's here, you know, can you sign my butt cheek? I mean, this is Ray Kroc, you know. So he says, what do I do? What do you think everyone said? Everyone was silent because they knew it was a trick question. And nobody said anything for like 10 minutes. Finally, someone in the back of the class said, you're in the hamburger business. He said, man, I've been waiting for 10 minutes for you to say that. He said, I've never been into hamburgers. He goes, in fact, I bet all of you can make a better hamburger than me. I don't even like hamburgers. They're like, oh. He said, I'm in the real estate business and distribution business. He's got a McDonald's everywhere. You go anywhere in the world, you can see those golden arches. You know what you get. It might not be good, but you know what you get. You know what you're going to pay. It's comfortable. Do you guys get my point? Yeah. It's everywhere. He built distribution. When they added breakfast to their menu, their revenue grew by 100% overnight in 12 hours worldwide. When they added chicken to their menu, they were trying to add chicken forever. And Ray Kroc was like, just keep building McDonald's, don't worry about adding chicken. His top guys were like, we're getting killed out there. Burger King, everyone has it. He said, don't worry about it, I'll tell you when we're adding chicken. He said, put out McDonald's on every corner, everywhere. Don't worry about adding chicken, I'll tell you when we're adding it to the menu. Finally, he called everyone in and said, we're adding chicken today. Boom. Chicken hits 40% revenue growth in 12 hours. Can you imagine? It's all about distribution, guys. When you have distribution everywhere, you know, and you built a business all over, and it's everywhere, and Joe Mitchell drops chicken into the equation, you know what I mean? Electricity. And I hope he doesn't drop chicken. I definitely don't want to sell chicken nuggets. But, you know, buffalo chicken. That'll be good. Think about this for a second. Think if you build a business for the next 5 years, and you develop an organization of, let's say, 100,000 customers in the next 5 years, total in your whole organization all over the world, which is realistic. 100,000 customers, and then Joe Mitchell drops electricity into it. And let's say only 20% of your customers worldwide grab a hold of electricity. So 20,000 customers in your downline, in your 7 levels, grab a hold of electricity. What's an average electricity bill? Let's say $100, okay? To be round numbers, let's just say $100. I don't know what it is here, but 100 is a round number. It's probably not too crazy. Yeah, it's probably $600 here. We're not in the Arctic. I live up here too now, so I can't crack those jokes anymore. But let's say 20% of your downline, of your customers all over the world, who you've never met, you never will. They're your customers just in your business. Grab a hold of it. What's 20,000 times 100?
2 million.
2 million? Times either 1/4% down to 5%. What did you do? What did you do for that?
Absolutely
You
nothing.
didn't do anything. You
You
built
were
the
there.
business up to there. You might have introduced me. You might have done that. You might, you don't know what you did. You might have introduced Daniel Goff, who went out and built a business in 25 different countries, regardless of you. And then they dropped electricity in, and all of a sudden, you have a pay raise of who knows how much that is. 1/4% to 5% of $2 million because he decided to drop another product into your distribution. It's going there. Mark my words, it is going there. When you look in the eyes of Joe Mitchell, he is not hesitant about this. He only knows one thing, and he knows it really well, and it's persistence. He doesn't know how to quit. He doesn't know how. He's never quit anything. He just isn't a quitter. And he's going to take this to 10 billion, and mark my words, it won't be 10 billion. I'm telling you. 10 billion is going to be a step on the way to 20 and 30 and 40. 10 won't even be a hiccup to him.
You're right.
His point really isn't 10 billion. When you really talk to him, he's like, he doesn't even talk about 10 billion. He wants to grow a 30, 40, 50, 60 billion dollar company. He wants to have basically the largest company in the world. And the reason he can do it is because it's the right place at the right time. He's in front of deregulation of logo. He's in front of it. He caught it at the right time. He spent $250 million buying Excel, a couple $100 million more doing back office to get it ready, get the machine ready, streamlined, smooth, everything perfect, so that we're ready. And now it's going on, deregulation. So that's all I have really to talk about. I'll finish with this. Read books. Books are invaluable. Read books. Go to your upline and figure out what books are good to read. Get around people that are doing the same thing, that have a high belief level, and build your belief, because belief will build conviction. I'm telling you, people will get started because of excitement. Excitement is just a byproduct of belief. If you have belief and you understand where we're going, it doesn't matter who says what to you out there. It just doesn't matter. They can say the moon's made out of green cheese forever, and I will never believe that. Okay? Thanks.